everyone, welcome to Watch It Paint It. Today, Austin's here. He's going to be painting Krampus from War in Christmas Village. This is by Jackalope. It was on Kickstarter. I painted the Dark Santa previously, if you saw that video. Now I think you can contact him on Facebook. He'll tell you how to buy it if you're interested in this model set. And also, I think he just sells on eBay and potentially coming to Amazon in the future. Just if you're interested, just let you know where it is. Austin's going to be starting with, this is Pure Red by the Army Painter. Similar to, it's quite a bright red, similar to maybe Abomination Gore in the Zombicide set. Bloody Red by Vallejo, or Wazdaka Red by Citadel. Just guesses, but a nice bright red. If you're going to shade it, go for a bright red. If you're going to dodge the wash, go for a darker red to begin with, something like Gory Red by Vallejo. Next is Wolf Grey, again by the Army Painter. Austin favours the Army Painter, that's just his preference in paint, so you get to see a lot of Army Painter choices here. And he's going to be using Wolf Grey for the skin of Krampus, and he's just applying that with his character brush. That's by the Army Painter as well. He's just an Army Painter fanboy, I think, is Austin. No, I do actually use a lot of Army Painter stuff as well. Maybe I'm a fanboy. I just think they're a decent set of paints to use, and I actually love the brushes, but I've not had much experience with brushes, so if anybody's got a recommendation, if you've used Army Painter brushes in the past and you've got something that you'd recommend better than Army Painter, let us know that in the comments and I'll certainly have a look into those. Leather Brown's the next colour Austin's going to choose, and this is to paint in one of the straps across Krampus's chest, as well as giving the base coat to some of those teddy bears and a couple of those pouches on his belt. And he's also going to do the large sack carrying that child on his back. So just skipping time on a little bit here, and we're on to Dirt Splatter, and that's to paint in the other strap across Krampus's chest and to do the bracelets around his wrists, or at least one of the bracelets there on his left wrist. He's going to use Matte White by the Army Painter, as I mentioned, mostly the Army Painter stuff here, and that's to paint on the bottom, the fur of Krampus's cloak here, and around all the detailing and around his sack as well, all nice and white, nice and Christmassy. This is a Christmas based model after all, and I don't actually know the story behind Krampus, so I don't know who it is. It's a monster, a Christmas monster. It looks terrifying already. So also just noticed Austin is modelling this with the Citadel model holder. It gives you a nice demonstration of using that instead of the hobby holder. We normally use the hobby holder. Austin has both of them, and he was just giving this a try out. He does think it's not as good as the hobby holder. There's his initial thoughts here. It's certainly usable, and I can see some benefits. I think owning both is probably where I would like to be in life, but Austin's already are, walking towards favouring the hobby holder, so we'll keep an update on that and see how he progresses, see which he favours in the long run. He's using Necromancer Cloak to paint in Krampus's belt and his nails and his hooves as well. As I said, I don't know much about this character, but this is really scary. He's like some sort of beast, a goatee Christmas beast. So still using the character brush. I think he's going to use it for all of this model. We'll find out as we progress through the rest of it. Just painting a few of the details here. A couple of straps across that beating stick he's got. Kobold skin. I've not seen Kobold skin before. It's by the Army Painter, and I assume it's just a lighter version of sort of barbarian survivor flesh that I would normally use. This is to paint on the skin of that child, so his hands and his face as well. Just taking a little bit of time there around where the white is. Just don't want to paint over that after you've already painted it, so just got to be a little bit careful there, but still quite easy. This model's not so detailed it's difficult to do, but it's detailed enough that it's going to look great at the end. Waisted jeans is Austin's choice for the hat of this child. That's so similar to Wolf Grey. I often wonder, is there actually any difference? Is it the same paint in two different sets? If you know, let me know that in the comments. Crystal Blue's the next colour choice, and that's to paint on the jumper, the hoodie, the top of that child that's in the sack at the back there, and just being very careful. You don't want to catch any of that blue on either that white or the skin colour, because both of those is just going to be a pain to paint back over. Dirt Splatter's next. Again, I should say, we've already had this out. This is to paint on the horns of Krampus. just there, just to match in this. Well, I mean, matching. This is the same colour as one of his straps and his bracelets. Again, quite a lot of care being taken there. Don't get it on the white, don't get it on the red, and you'll be completely fine. No pressure whatsoever. Bright gold. This is painting the rest of his bracelet. So his anklet there, his belt buckle, and then he's got another bracelet on his right hand. So paint that one gold to match his little anklet. He's a little cutie pie actually. He's all jewelried up. Just take a moment, as I often do when there's quite a long period of painting, and if you are enjoying this video, do not forget to don't big up Austin, applaud Austin. Give him a thumbs up below, leave him a comment if you've enjoyed his paint job here. Matte white is out again. That's to paint on those that sort of strap, that sort of harness holding the child in, as well as the trim along his little beanie hat. So just matching it nice and Christmassy, which feels like such a long time ago already, and yet it's coming round again. Like, how weird is that? We're a month in, it feels like forever ago, and yet I'm already dreading it coming back round again. Demonic yellow, painting in his eyeballs in this colour, just giving him some nice bright yellow eyes. And pure red out again, just painting his tongue. He's sticking his tongue out on this model, so same colour as Cloak. And with that, that's the base coat completely done. We're going to be using red tone, and that's to shade in the red part. So that's all of his cloak and his tongue. Get a little spot on his tongue as well if you're painting along with this. And this is really going to darken down those recesses and just bring out some of the detail in that cloak. It's really going to make it start popping out and looking as realistic as you can. It's going to look great on the table. Speaking of on the table, has anybody got this? Is anybody using this model? What games are you using it in? We are thinking, Austin, myself, Benson, we're going to make some Zombicide cards, I think, for this game. It's a good fit to play on Zombicide, and we might have to wait 11 months to play these again, but we're thinking this could really fit in quite well, be quite interesting, be quite exciting. Would you guys like to see the cards we make? Is that something we can do? We don't even know, but we're going to make it for a custom game anyway, and if you guys are interested, let us know in the comments below. So he's using pure red here, and he's just going to start highlighting up that cloak and tongue. So he's just catching all those folds, and you're going for the raised section of the folds, and this tongue, just leave the bit down the middle. I don't know what that line down the middle of your tongue is going to have a name, is it? Somebody let me know what the line in the middle of your tongue is in the comments. Just pausing here to show you the model with soft tone applied to the rest of the model. So other than the red, he used soft tone. Austin forgot to film that. Seems a fundamental flaw if you're making a YouTube channel that revolves around recording and painting miniatures, but I just thought I'd let you see how that looks. So just soft tone on the rest of the model. He's then going to get out matte white once again, and this is just to start highlighting back up all of the raised parts of that sort of white furry detail on the Christmassy sort of cloak that Krampus is wearing. So the shades going into some of the little what would you call them, like dimples in the fur, and then you sort of almost dry brush this back over that fur, and it's just going to make it look very realistic. It's also painting in the straps on the boy's back and the detail around his hat as well, so it's just exactly the same as Krampus is wearing himself. The next highlight is Kobold skin. Is that how you say it? I just assumed. So just painting back in the same colour as the original base coat and just highlighting this, so all the raised parts of that child's face, his cheeks, his chin, his nose, his brow as well, and then dotting in 2 white eyeballs while we were at it as well, and then just highlighting the skin a little bit more. To painting his pupils, we're just going to use crystal blue, same as his hoodie, his jumper, whatever he's wearing on his top. Just dot him in 2 pupils in there, and if you could be really bothered, I guess that's the iris, so you could whip out black and dot in 2 pupils in those irises, whatever you're most comfortable with and however you want those highlights to look. Wasted jeans to highlight his hat, and then crystal blue to highlight his top. And that's how it'll look at the end of that. Wolf grey's out. This is going to be quite a long process. He's got a fair bit of skin that needs highlighting up, legs, arms, hands, tops of hooves, that sort of thing. So really take your time with this. Make sure you don't catch any of this blue on anywhere you've previously highlighted. You're nearly done now, and you just want to take a little bit of care with this I don't know, does anybody else get frustrated at this point? This is the point where I'm like, oh, I'm so nearly done, hurry, 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 hurry. And actually what I should do is just put down the model and come back maybe a day later when my eyes are less tired, I'm less tired, and I can just enjoy painting again. I always find that towards the last 2 highlights I seem to rush. So that's why often in my videos I paint the larger parts that need highlighting first. So I would have done his cloak and his skin as the first 2, just to make sure I don't hit that sort of model painting fatigue. I think it's amplified by when you're recording as well. I don't know how many of you have recorded your painting, but it seems like it definitely takes longer once you're behind a camera, and it's harder to see. I'm leaning around the camera, under the camera, above the camera, trying to get you the best view I can give you. And obviously that's affecting my state of mind and how comfortable I am in my chair while I'm painting them. So at this point, I'm always rushing as fast as I can. But Austin's doing fantastic. He's keeping his cool. This is very steady painting. And he's just highlighted all of the blue with his face being extra careful. He still seems to be using the character brush just for absolutely everything. I don't think he's switched brushes at any point during this model. I don't know how he's doing it so well. He's got a very, very good fine point on his brush. Dead black's out. That's to give Krampus some pupils in those big yellow eyeballs. And then leather brown, this is to highlight the sack on the back of the model, one of the straps on the front, and a couple of pouches as well. So he's just sort of dabbing it. I think on the sack I'd be just dry brushing this now, but Austin's going for attention to detail, and he's painting a little highlight on every single little bump on that sack. And then he's got some bracelets as well that he's highlighting on his left arm. And he's also going to use leather brown to highlight his horns on his head there, and his stick. He's really going to town with this leather brown highlight. But because he painted them all in 3 different browns, they're going to look fundamentally different. Although the lightest part, the highlighted part, is going to be the same highlight. But that's the benefit of doing 3 different browns underneath. He's going to use bright gold. That's just to highlight all those bracelets and fancy parts of the clasp holding his cloak on as well. Necromancer's cloak, that's just to highlight his fingertips, so getting a dab on each tip of his nails and a bit on the hooves as well. Crystal blue's next again, and this is to paint on the base for the base. And in hindsight, we've just discussed this before me recording the audio to this, that is semi-irrelevant. None of that blue shines through. Valhallan Blizzard. So this is Austin showing a technical paint by Citadel, and this is the snow sort of paint. I'd heard bad things about this, that it wasn't particularly realistic or very good, but that looked a lot easier than the snow mixture I've used previously, and I think it looks really good. Austin's also catching some on the model itself, which I don't think I could do with my method. It would just be a big mess. But he's managing to catch a little bit, just make it realistic as though his cloak's caught a little bit of snow on. After that, he's moving the snow around. He's just leveling it out as best as he can, and it's giving it a nice, really nice, even finish. Really realistic as the snow settled on flat ground. Dead black, just to repaint around the edge of the base there. And that is Krampus completely finished. That did take Austin 2 hours 16 minutes. It's quite a long process, but he did give it a very technical base and painted that snow up the back of the model, on his head. It's just dabbed on it perfectly. That looks very, very realistic snow to me. I'm really impressed with that. I think I'm gonna buy some of this paint myself and try that out. I seem to continually paint snowy bases, so it's certainly something I'd like to try. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that video. Do check out Jackalope and have a look at this if you're interested in this. Let us know in the comments below if you've got any interest in some sort of custom cards for maybe the other games that we play, because this doesn't play in a game, so I'm very interested in painting my models up and actually having them see some sort of table time. Anyway, I'll be back on Friday for the next installment of... Ooh, I can't spoil that. Thank you all very much for watching.